What's good, brother? What's good?
How you?
Good, good. How you? Who we got today, man?
I'm doing good. Introduce myself.
Yeah.
Oh man, Mo. Go by Shop by MLB. That's me.
I'm gonna put the name up on the screen for the
Yes, sir.
people. Yeah. Man, I've been wanting to do this for a long time, bro.
Appreciate
You
man.
coming through,
Nah, I
bro.
appreciate you for the opportunity, real shit.
Yeah. So it's a lot we gonna get into today. I want to start off because you was telling me behind the scenes because you used to do photography somewhat, and you was telling me about the list and other little stories. So I just want you to dive into that first before we get into like one of the main reasons why I really wanted to talk to you. But how was photography when you was doing it, and then get into like the list that's going on.
Uh, I mean, yeah. When I first started, so when I first started, uh, I was trying. Well, I was trying to start more so like in 2012.
Mm-hmm.
2 years out of high school, but you know how it is. I was trying to get my mother to give me a camera. You know, cameras back then, I feel like were more expensive now because it wasn't as photography wasn't as a leisure
Right.
thing as it is now. Everybody got a camera now. You people that don't even use them.
Facts.
So I couldn't get my mother to wrap her head around spending like 1,000, 1,100 on a camera.
Sheesh.
She just wasn't. She was like, nah, you gotta work and get your own. So like, fast forward, and I appreciated her for that now, cause you know I didn't have like 5 or some cameras, and I bought all of them myself. So yeah, but when
What's
I
your,
first started, I was
pause that. So what's your favorite brand? What brand?
I'm always gonna be a Nikon nigga, man. But
I ain't know that.
I shoot Lumix right now.
Okay. All right.
But I be looking at. I did a wedding yesterday, and the dude had these D750s Nikons, and I'm just like, man,
Okay.
I want to go back.
Yeah, that's what's up. That's what's up. All right, so go ahead when you start.
When I first started, I used to just record on whatever camcorder, whatever we could get our hands on. I was the designated. All right, we going woo 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 woo, shoot this, shoot that, take these pictures, take this. Because when I first started, I was a sound engineer
Mm-hmm. Oh man.
for Mark and
Oh
Ace
okay.
and them.
Okay.
I was all their old shit. I was the engineer. So our whole thing was we was like 18, 19. Cause I'm a year older than him. So like I was like 19, and our whole thing was like we got cut corners. Ain't nobody had no money.
Yeah.
So it
facts.
was like we put our money together, got the equipment, and that was that. Then after doing a rack of songs, it's like what next? Like we gotta do videos, and it was like how? You know what I'm saying? We don't know nobody. I don't even know how much somebody would have charged for music. Well, actually, I do. Back in like 2012, the people that actually shot was getting that bag.
Yeah.
Because nobody did it.
Right.
Nobody was doing music videos. I think people was paying like $5 back then.
Yeah.
Back then.
Yeah.
And you got to think the quality wasn't as, the higher you go was 1080.
1080. Yeah.
Yeah,
If
so-
that, because most of it was 720.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Yeah, it was regular HD, then 1080 was full HD.
Yeah.
So you paying people, and it was always older guys, because it wasn't a lot of people our age with the camera,
money.
with like a $1,200 camera with an $800 lens. Wasn't nobody doing that back then. That just wasn't the thing. But I always knew that's what I wanted to do.
Okay.
I wanted to be them.
Okay.
And
So what made you want to be them? Was it
I don't know, man. I went to high school at McKinley Tech.
okay?
So I've always said Tech never had a video program, but somebody actually just told me like a month ago while I was there, some of them niggas did have cameras.
For real?
I knew nothing about it.
Wow. So you missed
I
out.
never knew,
You
yeah.
missed
I feel
out.
like I did. I knew the people that did broadcast, they would have camcorders, but I don't know. Maybe I wasn't paying attention like I thought I was. But I was in there doing IT, so Photoshop, 3D modeling.
Okay.
I was doing those type of things. So I think that made it switch. So when I started doing video, it all wasn't foreign to me. I knew what loading something in, because I use Premiere now, but I was using whatever I got my hands on
Yeah.
back
Whatever
then.
you got. Yeah.
But we
okay.
was doing Photoshop every day, so I know the idea of putting something loading it into a program and editing. It's the same
concept
general,
is.
yeah.
Yeah.
Premiere,
Kinda,
Illustrator. We was
I
doing
feel
all
like
that.
it's a little bit more difficult with what you're doing now versus photography, though.
Yeah, but when I first started, we was just doing vlogs. Like
Okay.
marking them, they making songs, record that. We go to, we young teenagers. We all go to the store, record that. We go pick up somebody from the metro to come record a song, record that, put it together as a vlog. I've been doing vlogs since 2011, 12. Yeah, I've been doing vlogs for almost 10 years.
Okay.
So if somebody booked me for a vlog, it's literally the easiest thing you get me to do. Because everything makes sense. I don't even have to, you don't have to ask you nothing. I just need to know what we doing. Boom, I'm on it. That's what I first started with, vlogs. So.
Okay. All right. So we're going to get into that. But before we do, because I do photography too.
Yes, sir.
And
you good at it too.
Appreciate that, bro. Thank you, man. Before we started this, you was telling me about a list.
Oh yeah. A couple months ago, that little DMV, I guess, rape list, yeah, sexual assault list. Yeah.
So, without using the names and blah blah blah, please explain to the people what exactly.
Well, the joint I seen, I remember one night I was on Twitter, and it's a serious matter too. It's like
people, I know, we laughing and joking, but
the parts that just humorous in a way was just how. So they were like, let me put it in context. So there, like I was telling you, when it first started, there was more so like regular people, just like people you look at. I don't know, there's some dude from Beltsville, there's some dude from Southeast, there's some dude from Waldorf, you know what I'm saying? They be from just random people, never seen this nigga, probably never will. But then like the next tier was like local rappers. It's like, oh, him, damn, that's crazy. Oh, him, oh, that's wild. I know him. I shot something for him. So that was the thing. Then when I stopped paying attention to it, the last tier was the photographers.
Right.
And there was a couple people on there that. I mean, I don't really work with photographers in the first place. There was a couple people I know.
You see the name and you just be like, oh.
Yo, I met a lot of people
right.
in our field, like in this area. I've bumped into a lot of people even in passing, or we both booked to do something. So
right.
yeah, like a lot of the people on there, it's like that's not my man, but I know him.
Right.
And that's crazy.
Yeah.
Now I don't want nothing to do with you if you out here raping people. I don't want nothing to do with that.
And it's like I chuckle and laugh. Now it's like you said, it's a serious matter, but the fact that people out here like acting up like that.
Yeah, make everybody look bad.
Yeah. You know, it fucks shit up. Cause like I was telling you, it was like now you got the models that, I only want to work with female photographers. Or I don't even want to model.
Which is their prerogative.
Yeah, it is.
But it's like you might not be safe with her either. Like we just gotta accept like the world we live in.
No matter what you decide to do, you're running the risk of something.
It's hard for women, yeah. Especially like when they just, cause like I've done a lot of work with models, so it's some of them that you see online. That could be all like nude or risque, but they nothing like what you would think they are.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? They do that. They're 100% professional. They cool. They boom, boom, boom. Then there's some of them that are just, it's always, no matter what it is, if it's models, it's photographers, rappers, it's always a sector of the group that messes up for everybody.
Of course.
So, of course, we all know there are models doing what they got to do to get shoots.
Right.
So
I guess a guy experiences, I'm not going to even say a guy, a person experiences that, and then it takes over their mind to try to hand that.
They think that's what it is.
Right. Okay.
A photographer might shoot with one joint. She might want to exchange something else to get another shoot. And in his mind, this is what it is.
Right.
Then he tries that with one of the ones I was just saying that's professional. And that's very disrespectful.
Yeah.
And it's not fair to her.
Right.
But it ain't even about them. It's like it's for the photographers and for the camera operators, the videographers, whatever you want to call yourself. You gotta tighten up.
Yeah, you gotta understand this is business.
Yeah, you gotta tighten up because a lot of us is really living off of this.
Yeah, and it ain't just, you're not just working for you. I mean, you are working for you, but it's an overall.
It's art. Yeah. I feel like if you're take pictures, do videos, whatever have you, if you're not doing it from your heart and for the art of it,
don't do it.
Quit.
Yeah.
Stop. Donate that camera to find some kid, preferably somebody high school, somebody fresh out that really want to do it. Give your camera to them. because you were doing us a disservice. Like, we really, I done been at shoots. Girls coming at joint extra guard up, and it's like I can't even they be.
And
I feel a little
show up on the camera.
Yeah, but like I feel a little disrespected by like how they might choose to talk, but I'm like I can't get mad at her.
Yeah,
I don't know who then pulled out on her.
Yeah,
or who then,
because when you said that was just out of control. Like
it's some shit, man.
Yeah,
and I got one of my friends is a photographer. And when a lot of that stuff was unfolding with a specific photographer, I was sending, they was airing them out on Instagram. I'm sending the story to him. I'm like, yo.
Right.
Because I'm a videographer, so he a photographer, so I was going out and said, this how y'all living? He was like, y'all are wild, young. Yeah, and he just like, bro, he said, and he was like shedding a lot of light on it for me. He was like, bro, some of them is doing that, bro. And I'm like, that's crazy.
We gonna go to brighter pastures here.
Yes, sir.
So we're gonna go from the photography to what you're doing now, and this is one of the best. I would say the best, but I don't want to discredit nobody else for doing the artists. But one of the best in the area of doing what he does.
Appreciate you, man.
Yeah. How long you been doing this videography thing? First, what made you want to switch from photography to that?
Well, video was always like my main focus for real.
Mm-hmm.
I've been, like I said, I kind of started in 2012. On that old YouTube I vividly remember uploading a video of a vlog of us in like 2009, to be honest.
Okay.
I don't know what we shot it on. I don't know how. Oh no, yeah, one of my brothers just sent me this wild BS little compact camera, not a DSLR, not a digital camera, but compact. I guess that's what you call them. And I
little Polaroid or
them old
school
point and shoot jump that just happened to have video.
All right, okay.
Yeah, so I kind of wanted to be a photographer back then, and it's like when he sent me that, because I remember I was still in high school. It was some shit. I was on the phone. He lived out Cali. And it's like, I was like, yeah, mom won't give me. It's like I just said when my mother wouldn't give me the camera.
Right.
I think she had told him, and he said, oh, I got you. Then he sent me, I'm like, this little ass, this is not, I'm trying, like, what you shooting on now, that's what I wanted.
Right,
you feel me?
Right.
So he sent me this little joint. I'm like, thanks. You feel me? Like, all right. And it had a video function on it. As primitive as it was. Okay. Probably shooting full or something. I don't even think that joint was 7. I know it wasn't 1080.
Yeah.
Probably
wasn't 7 either. What is it, 460?
Probably. Some bullshit. But it was 09-ish, so it was like, okay, why not?
Okay.
So I did my first vlog on that jump, probably like, I'd have to look on YouTube. I know it's over 10 years because I seen the 10 year next to it. So probably 09. That was the first thing I ever did. I don't know. I always, when I was a little kid, I used to, you know how little kids be off, they like, I want to be a cop, I want to be a firefighter, the president. I used to want to be like I've always said what I want to be has kind of been the same as a little kid. It just, each step of my life, I kind of like honed in, like made it more specific. When I was a little kid, I wanted to be an artist.
Okay.
You feel me? Like, I used to draw I used to go home and draw for fun. I haven't drawn in years, but that used to be my thing. So I had a vision, like a creative vision as a little boy. So I wanted to be an artist. Then I wanted to write. So I used to come home from middle school, and my father thought this shit was weird. I used to literally get on Microsoft Word and write stories. Okay. I swear to God. And it got to a point I had a folder. It was just a rack of random jumps. And then I think it was 8th grade. We had a thing where we all had to write a book, but it only had to be like, it's like 10 pages.
Okay.
Mine was 60. I still remember my joint was 64 pages.
Sheesh.
My mother helped me bind the joint. So when we turned it in, I still got the joint in the house. So when we turned it in, it was a book. And my teacher was like, who did this? And I was like, oh, nah, I did. Like, what you
Right,
talking about?
right,
This is me.
right.
And she read it, and I remember she pulled me to the side. She was like, yo, what's the 8th grade, like 13, 12?
Yeah, about 12. Yeah.
So she was like, yo, this is good. You were like, you're a kid. I'm like, what's up? So we we had, I don't know if it was the end of the year award ceremony or whatever it was. I won like an award. I don't know where. I know I got it. I know my mother got it. I should probably take a picture of that jump. But I won an award for it. And then she prefaced it like that. It was like, yeah, it only had to be a couple pages. This was a 64-page jump. He had to, I just went into detail at how I did it. And then I remember one of the old head dudes was like, man, you could be like an author. Yeah. I mean, you know, the kid ain't trying to be no author, man. It's boring.
Yeah,
I just be doing these joints just to do them.
Right.
So that's like, I started high school 06, so this like 05. And then, like I said, I got a camera 09. So, you know, I was still writing stories in that meantime, between time.
Right.
And then it got to getting that little camera. Then it became vlogs. Then it became whatever I get my hand on. We shooting music videos.
Right.
We doing vlogs again, little fake interviews. And it snowballed naturally to what I'm doing now.
Right.
Until I got adult age. I can earn my own money now. And I can buy my own camera, and it was just at that point it is what it was. I was working at the BMW in Suitland, by Red Lobster in the metro station.
Branch Ave.
Yeah, I was working at that jump 3-something years. Well, no, almost 3. I got fired. They petty as shit. I got fired 2 weeks before my official 3 years.
Oh yeah,
they petty. So he while I was there, I had bought my first Nikon, my first real camera. So, yeah, I was just shooting when I could, but my manager was wild.
You was shooting at work?
Yeah, it was like, what you mean, like at work?
While you was like at the
We was hosting scenes, yeah. I worked at BMW. Hey, we got this scene. If I'll go to lunch at 12. Come here at 11:50. Sneaking people around the back in the cars. We were shooting scenes with the Beamers, looking sweet. Yeah,
yeah. All right, that's all right.
That's when I started doing my first web series. That first season, we was in.
Oh yeah, okay.
Them Beamers was not ours. None of them foreign cars was ours.
I ain't. You see that kind of stuff, you don't ask like.
You just think, that's their man joint.
Or dude, you know what I'm saying?
But I worked at the dealership. We was in them jumps.
That's why they fired you. Or?
Nah, so my manager was going through a divorce, and I didn't care. You know what I'm saying? I'm not at work to care about your divorce. And he was just like getting moody and getting buck with some people.
Right.
And like anybody that work at a dealership would understand, it's a whole different world. So we was understaffed, we was overworked and everything. So I'm walking through the shop. I had parked somebody's car. I'm walking the little key box on my phone. That don't hurt nobody. I just did my job. I'm walking to put the key back on my phone, like on Twitter or something. And then I'm walking like this, and I just look right, and he just walking with me. I'm like, what's up? And he was like, you could walk a little faster, probably if you put your phone down.
Oh, man.
And I remember I was like, I probably could. I'm still on my phone. I ain't put my phone up. And he was like, man, if you don't want to be here, you don't got to be here. And I was like, is that a promise, or are you just saying, or are you serious? Because I go home right now. And then we had like a little stare down. I was like, I don't give a fuck. And then I got fired like the next day. Because I'm not that type of dude, bro. I'm not about to. If I could call anybody Ace on the phone, Ace would tell you. I had him at a job right across the street. Okay. I was bringing niggas in the company and everything. If anybody would tell you, I was the best worker at this. I'm a good worker.
Right.
I just don't never want to work for nobody again.
Right.
I'm very good at. I take jobs serious. You know what I'm saying? I was the best person in that dealership. Anybody wanted this, I knew all this, I understood stuff. I was there longer than the manager. He came after I started, so I was that dude up there. But yeah, I was recording stuff there. That's when I got my first jump, and it became obvious to me I couldn't have a job, a 9-to-5, and do what I wanted to do, because we was, like I said, we was understaffed, and he would every now and then. Not every now and then. I was working the hours I wasn't supposed to. I was staying hours late that I wasn't supposed to. I wasn't trying to neither. So I always tell people getting fired was the best thing that could ever happen to me.
That's dope. That's dope. So basically, when you say that you can never work for another person again, okay. See, I'm trying to think of how I want to ask this question. Yeah. So, how long was you working at the BMW Joint?
I was at BMW for 2 years, 11 months ish. Almost basically, I would say 3 years.
All right.
I got fired. What's Halloween? October 31st.
Yeah, 31st. It's 31. It's 31 days October. Yeah, 31st. Yeah.
I got fired November 1st, 2016.
16.
Yeah.
And so you've just been on your this ever since.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what's up.
That first year was the make or break year because it's every 2016 to end of the year going to 2017, everything I ever did was funded on me 100%. Like it always was because of the job, but it was really funded on. Now I'm responsible for getting clients because I had clients, but I had to turn away a lot of work because I had a job. So it's like now everything I do is just contingent on how I really do it. Now I gotta go to events. Like I'm always telling people I'm like an introvert. I don't like that. Yeah. That switch off to being at events and there's hundreds of people in the joint. Yeah. I never was that type of guy. Like I go to a club every now and then, but I wasn't like a club hopper. You know what I'm saying? I'm not
same here.
Yeah. So that whole, you know what I'm saying? That whole, now I gotta do this. It's an adjustment. I wasn't bitching, but it was an adjustment. So it was like it just had to get used to it. Now I gotta network. I gotta move the room. I gotta holler at people when I'm in there, all that.
Okay. So because you don't like people, right?
No, I don't like you.
Does it make it easier that you're behind the camera versus like being in front of it?
Yes. Yeah.
Because like I know, especially the type of events you're covering, I'm gonna let you get to like some of the notable people you work with in the area, and
yes, sir.
In the industry period, because it's a lot of notable people. I know it's a ton of pressure on you to bring to life what people expect you to bring to life, but from a introvert standpoint, like, does it relax that okay, they not really paying attention to me, they just doing their thing? And you just there to capture the moment, or
yeah, that part is cool. Like I'm just the camera. I'm not like the media correspondent. I could never do that. Nah.
Okay.
It's cool sometimes. I be looking at them like that. It's probably Jai, because that's who they gonna remember.
Okay.
I've re-met people like 4 times. Like, bro, I know you.
Yeah.
We've met before. Oh, for real?
Yeah.
I was the one that shot. Oh, yeah, what's up, nigga? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's a part of this. I'm not going, while I'm shooting, I'm more so standoff. It depends where we at. It depends what it is, to be honest. If we somewhere, it depends. I mean, I'm human. If I'm having one of them days where I'm just like, I'm at work. You know what I'm saying? I'm just here. I'm not, after they shoot, I'm not going to be all like, yeah, what's up, man? Ooh, so what's you? I'm not one of them.
Right. You probably like me. So, like, once it's done, your stuff already packed. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And you just check with the person and be like, yo, I'm going to get this to you by this.
Yeah. And unless we somewhere, the vibe is right and it's real cool, I'm cooling. But if it's at one of them jumps that I just don't feel like particularly being at, I'm done.
Okay.
Yeah, as soon as the second we done, if I know at this point now, because since the 2000s, I've been doing it seriously since 15 and hustling harder since 16. So 4-ish years.
Yeah.
I know who I should talk to.
Right.
I can tell who's the important person out of the group of people. You know how that be.
Right.
You might go to cover an event. You can't tell which one of them is the person. They all chained up, shaded up. Cool. I don't know which one of y'all I'm here to actually talk to.
Right.
Or the interview or the whatever you follow around. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, it's case by case with that. But yeah, I do the behind the camera thing is to answer your question more.
Okay. You said that you had to re-meet people 4 or 5 times.
Yeah.
So how do you feel like as far as like doing what you do, especially the quality of work you do, you know, like I said, you one of the best in the area.
Appreciate you,
on the
man.
East Coast, probably. You
Yeah,
know what I'm
hopefully.
saying? And it's like you done put out like if people see what you put out, they'll be like, oh, that's who was doing that, and this is. But being behind the camera, you're not remembered like you alluded to. So what's your mindset on that? Is that cool with you, or does it get?
It's cool because you can always drop the occasion.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I know for a fact they be like, oh yeah, well, you don't know who I am, but you know that somebody, you know what I'm saying? It's like they remember. That's cool. And it is what it is. Because I always look at if they don't remember, I probably should have hollered at them a little harder.
Yeah.
Like in
Okay.
networking wise, I probably should have.
Networking.
You know, I just learned from that. That's cool though.
So what's a just so people can know, what's a few people like? What's a few notable people that you've done work with?
That's been on my camera.
Mm-hmm.
I just did one of them. It started as, and now it's drinks on Twitter the other day, and I said I worked with everybody from Megan Thee Stallion to Maxine Waters, and I just thought that range is crazy.
Yeah,
and that's a fact. We interviewed Megan and Richmond. I was in Congress shooting one of their joints with Maxine Waters. What's her name? Pelosi.
Yeah, Pelosi.
Yeah,
Nancy Pelosi.
Yeah, I don't pay no attention to politics.
Well, you know what? If we would have did this interview 2 months ago, I wouldn't have nothing for you. But because they've been like they've been driving this, they've been driving this home for like the last 2 months. It's like, all right, now I'm starting to hear these names 100 times a day. Like, all right,
like I seen her, I was like, I knew who Maxine. I've always known who Maxine Waters.
Right,
My mother loves
right.
Maxine Waters.
Right.
So,
Okay.
So yeah, Megan Thee Stallion, Nancy Pelosi, Maxine Waters, Charlemagne the God.
Yeah, this is all facts, y'all. This is all like
I got pictures to prove.
You got a resume. He got a resume. You know what I'm saying?
It's a right, Genuine. I'm trying to think. There's been a couple of people I shot that I was like, I actually like, damn.
All right, so who was like when you dealing with like these celebrities? Are they laid back? Are they chilling? Who was your favorite?
Ray J was cool as shit.
Ray J.
Ray J.
Oh, you
cool
working
as
Ray
shit.
J, man?
I shot some shit. Cause I was at the Urban Wine Honors in December.
Okay.
So we was backstage with VIPs. Right? We was back there, all of them. I didn't shoot. Missy Elliott was back there. She, I think they say she's like a little, like she gets overwhelmed.
Okay.
So they had like moved us to we were still down there, but I watched her get interviewed. That was tight.
Okay.
But she wasn't. Ray J, Wale was down there. Neo, Eric Benet, all of them was down the joint. We just all bumping shoulders. I was talking to what's her name that do Real Housewives? The one that what's the one that owned that? The lady.
Who? Which housewives? Atlanta?
Was it the Housewives or was it the what's
Basketball.
what's that show Cardi B and them all was on? Love and Hip Hop.
Love and Hip Hop.
What's Mona Scott? The one that owned the joint. I was at the bar next to her. I didn't know who she was.
Oh, okay.
My man was like, "Oh, you was just talking to Mona Scott." I was like, "Oh, okay. Yeah, she cool as shit." Yeah. Okay. Everybody back there is like, a lot of them is, you be surprised, bro. A lot of them are real
laid back and
because
cool.
I had no idea who she was. I'm just
Right.
sitting there. I ordered my drink. She ordered hers, and she just started talking, telling jokes. We was like, "Oh yeah, your day good."
And they probably like people like that don't know who they are, so they can feel like normal.
I don't know if she thought I was just trying to be extra cool, but I had no idea who she was.
Yeah.
I had no idea. I knew she was. Everybody down there was somebody,
Right.
or managing somebody, or representing somebody. So I'm in that mindset.
Right.
Everybody, because of course I'm right there with her. Neo right there.
Yeah.
Brandy and Ray J right there. Wale right there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
Man.
yeah, you know that everybody down here is pretty much somebody to some degree.
Right.
So yeah, that was alright though. You said who was my favorite?
Yeah, you got a favorite moment, like favorite, like.
I feel like I'm missing so much. With a celebrity.
Or any story in general.
Any favorite moment of mine would be working on a project of mine. My favorite moment, I don't know if this is really answering the question, but when I first put the first episode of my first web series out, that was probably one of my favorite moments. Just on YouTube, clicking publish after it uploaded, and it's like your video is now live. That's my favorite moment.
That's dope.
Because that manifested all the hours. It's like 20-something actors, actresses running back and forth. We was going to Atlanta. We was shooting here. We shot a little part in New York. We did a little snippet in Philly. And just making it live. That was my favorite moment.
Yeah, so I bet you just seeing that come to fruition.
Yeah, that showed me no matter. That's my brainchild. Because you know how it is when you're working on something, it starts in your brain.
Right.
So this is my brainchild, and now it's for the world
to
ridicule, to love, to hate. It's public now. So that's probably my favorite.
So I'm glad you brought that up because that's where I was going also. You put out a lot of work. And we all in this field. So as much love as you get, there's not equally, but there's a lot of also the negatives. Do you get a lot of negativity?
It's a lot of stress. Negativity, yeah. I've put people on. Like, I try to put people on as much as I can in ways. Like, I've even said before I wasn't going to no more because I feel like people are very unappreciative. But negative, ain't nobody really like.
So you ain't never post a web series, or like post a web show, or did an interview or something, and somebody was just like, the quality on that video ain't, it ain't all that, you know.
Yeah. It's this one person. They was trying to get me to do something with them. And I was like, all right, cool, we could do it. I sent what I wanted to be paid for it.
Right.
And so it was two. One of them I do work with constantly, and one I was kind of like catty corner, like on with them. So the secondary person, after I told them they run me, just send me the bread. I'll be there. We shoot it. Woo woo woo. Told the first person, the primary person, man, his stuff ain't even all that. We can get somebody to do it for free. I ain't trying to pay him. This, that, and the third. And the primary person, being somebody I do a lot of work with and got a good rapport with, they was like, nah, he good. He gonna make sure it's done. I trust his work as he gonna make sure it's done. He not gonna not show up. He not gonna lose the footage. It's gonna work. Just pay him. And the secondary person kept. So yeah, it's just little stuff like that.
It happens.
There's people like that. It's people that don't want to pay you. They'll message you, I love your work. You're so good. You think you could do this. I don't have no money right now. If you love me, rock with me.
You could
especially in the industry, the media industry. We record and capture moments, but we're not really in it.
Right.
We're like a third party. They can't have a job without us.
Right.
And we won't have that part of it. We can still do other stuff. Right. We won't have that part without them. So it's supposed to be a duality. You feel me? It's supposed to be like, you hold me down, I hold you down. But it's a lot of people that don't.
But you don't feel like it's a balance for real.
Niggas around here cheap, if you want me to be honest. There's a lot of this is the DC area is probably one of the richer areas in America.
So they say.
It's allegedly. Yeah. But the DC area is also one of the most penny pinching.
I mean,
cheap
I guess that's how you stay rich, right?
Don't do it with me. But yes, you're right. Yeah, because I'm like that. I'm like that with, like, all right. This how I be saying. I be telling my man this. You can't go to Walmart, get a cart full of stuff, and tell them at the register, I could go to Target and get this for cheaper. What they gonna tell you? Go to Target and get it cheaper.
Right.
Don't come to me. It's the same thing. If you want to do it with Walmart, don't do it with me, man. Don't come to me. I should only pay you this for this. That's how much it costs. That's not what I charge, bro.
Yeah.
I don't argue with people on that. I mean, I work with people. We could talk it out. You know what I'm saying? If I think you made a point, cool. But I'm generally, I think I've done this long enough to make my own numbers.
Yeah, you're super veteran, and your resume is.
Appreciate you.
Yeah.
I wish I could remember more of the people I work with. I really have a bad memory.
Yeah, but
I can text it to you.
What-
The list is just like jumping.
oh yeah, all right. So I can throw that up on the screen as
Yeah,
well.
because I have no idea.
So off camera, you told me that you turned down a government job to do what you do. So you want to get into that?
Yeah, so I was talking to this junk, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I was in a little, nothing serious, but a little situation with her.
Okay.
And she worked at the Department of Justice,
Mm-hmm.
and she basically got me a job, and I basically just didn't take it. So I went down to the junk. I went downtown off of like D Street or whatever. Like a little couple blocks from Galley Place, and we had I went in for the interview. You know, they go through the metal detector. They give you the little visitor badge. You going through all these granite and gold line hallways. It's the government.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, all right, cool. We just doing it like that. And then I do the little talking with this and the third. The dude liked me, and he was just like, so what you want to get paid? I told him, I'm straight from my other job. I'm like, somewhere around 20. He's like, we could do way more than that. And I'm just like, all right, cool.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, if I get the job, thank you.
Right.
And then he was but I was under the impression that hours was way more convenient to what it is that I do.
Right.
And the hours were very conflicting. Like the way she explained that she was working like government workers, you work in the morning, you off for like 3-ish. Like school hours, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking it's like that. And he basically was like, nah, we might need you to stay later some days. You might do. I'm like, nah, I can't do that, brother. So, yeah, I would have. This would probably be my 4th year at the Department of Justice right now.
Oh, okay.
Turn the job. I never told my mother that.
He said, no.
My mother would be so disappointed. I
Well,
literally, because
parents don't kind of understand the concept of chasing your dreams versus.
I got the email there, acceptance,
Mm-hmm.
work acceptance email. I never responded to it
Okay, that's dope. That's inspiration.
because
right
I
there.
knew if I did that, I couldn't do this
Right.
because of the time conflicts. There's a lot of things.
All right, so I got 2 more questions for you. Then we're gonna wrap it up. So you mentioned that you was in a situation with a shorty. So I want to ask you, like, how was balancing that kind of life in the field of the work that you do?
Yeah.
Like, I know you work with models and actors, and you done did like interviews with celebrities. Like, what's the process? Like, do you slide in some actors' DMs, or do they approach you? Like, what's that?
Which way you mean that?
As far as like dating wise, like how does I'm not even dating, but mingling.
Oh, I'm not jumping like that. I can't do it like that.
You ain't strictly business.
Huh? Oh, hold on, wait. Okay. Yes, it's always strictly business, but
All right, so
the DMs are there for a reason.
yeah. Oh, okay, so
Because remember, Instagram ain't always had DMs.
Yeah.
You had to go back 103 weeks to comment on the picture.
yeah,
You remember that? You remember the struggle? Yeah.
So you go smack. Do they go smack? You ain't got. It is what it is.
It could
All
be
right,
either way.
maybe can we get a maybe?
It's happened either way. It's
Yeah.
happened both ways.
Okay. Yeah. So you in a relationship right now, or
Nah.
you ain't dealing with no females that think you in a relationship?
Nah.
You
Nah, not at the moment. What's
some
today?
females-
Nah.
You know how females gonna want.
Yeah.
Females see this and gonna want. So
Nah, man, you know what I'm saying?
you know what I'm saying.
It's just a life, you know what I'm saying? Anybody, you know how it is. You dealing with anybody trying to do it, anybody that's an entrepreneur, it's a lifestyle.
Yeah.
I might disappear for a couple hours. I'm doing something.
Yeah, I got you.
People got to understand it. I think for me, personally, in my experiences, that's probably been the most challenging part of it because people don't, everybody's attention seeking.
Yeah.
Everybody wants
Yeah.
the bulk of everything. I can't do that. I can't do that for nobody. I can't do that. I can barely do that shit for myself.
Right.
I forget to do stuff. Like things I probably need to be doing. I be forgetting I'm busy, you know what I'm saying? But you gotta have somebody, I would say that for anything. You gotta have somebody that understands what you do, understands why you're doing it, and gets it, but wants to also help you achieve that. I think that's with anything though, not just an entrepreneur, but especially if you trying to deal with somebody that got their own business, set their own times.
Mm-hmm.
We might set something up for Friday. I might get a call to do an award show fight. I kind of got to do that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You got to have somebody that could get that. I mean, of course, they're going to feel their way.
Mm-hmm.
But you got to have somebody that will overall understand that.
Basically, like, you like in the NBA or something, and you just, hey, I might gotta be gone out of town.
I'm in the G League, yeah.
I mean,
it's not all the way serious. Yeah. Nah, but serious, this is a fact.
Yeah.
Like a sports thing. Yeah, I might have to postpone this.
So
like you seen the Fresh Prince joint with his father.
Yeah.
I felt for his father, even though his father was a wild dude. But that situation, like we might have to postpone this maybe a little later. You know what I'm saying?
That's a wild situation because even when I think about that, man, it's like, yo,
I'm pretty sure it's happening. It's happening to everybody, especially camera people.
Wild, yeah.
His father was a wild. Yeah. Hey, after you done had some daddy situations yourself, you look back and I feel that scene, man. Yeah, I feel that. I had that scene kind of happen to me for real, my father. In a way. Now, my father ain't never carried me, though. Okay. But that.
Yeah, Yeah. So, dealing with a situation like yours, what's your trust level with females? Like, could you trust a female to, do the right thing when you, like, gone? Because you said at the drop of a hat, you might got to leave. You might got to fly out to L.A. or...
I might have to stop and do something, yeah. So while I'm, like...
Like, what's your trust level? Like, on a scale of 1 to 10.
Period?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you said I can ask you anything,
yeah,
man.
You my man. I'm trying to think of what a number lower than 0. I'm trying to I want to go to negative. I don't know. I mean, that would be case by case. But if you mean generally, I mean, that's like
so what? Like you get into a situation.
I don't trust nobody at first.
Okay.
You can't.
Right, I'm just
I don't trust a nigga I meet in the street. But this nigga might rob me. You know what I'm saying? I don't know this guy. Yeah.
Right.
I'm like that with anything, though. You know what I'm saying? My upbringing was real. Like my mother done known people for 40-something years. They don't be knowing general shit about her.
Yeah.
That's how I was raised.
Right.
I was never told don't trust people and don't tell your business, but it's kind of what I picked up.
Yeah.
If I'm very open. You can ask me, I'll answer anything. But if it's not asked to me, I'm not gonna say nothing.
Except for that though.
But and the same thing with like the trust thing. I mean, I'm pretty. I don't want to say I trust anybody. I mean, because that's wrong. But I always try to. I give everybody that little leeway. You know what I'm saying? I trust anybody not to do something wrong with the expectation they probably will.
It's not like I'm asking you to trust a stranger. I'm asking like if you just jump into a situation with a shorty.
Yeah.
Like, would you be? Yeah, would you trust her? Like, because
I hope I would.
All right, so say I give you an example, right?
Yeah.
You do a lot of traveling.
Mm-hmm.
You go to New York. You come back in town. You chilling with your shorty. You get a call. You go to Atlanta. And she cool with the first 2 trips. You come back from Atlanta, chilling with shorty. Now you got a joint out Hollywood, the mecca of all mecca. So you gotta hit this joint. You gotta go out. You gotta go out Hollywood. You
gotta hit LA.
Now she giving you the side eye, like, damn, you just went on 2 trips. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it would depend how. It would depend how, I guess, good we are.
Mm-hmm.
Like if this is somebody I'm just starting to, get close to. Probably wouldn't care as much as opposed to this is somebody I've been with months, if not years.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I still gotta go out there, but
he still gotta go. So
we can make it work. You know what I'm saying?
Business
but if it's somebody
first,
I've just been talking to for like 3 weeks, I mean, if you mad I'm going out there, like I got to. What's wrong with you? You knew what this was when you got into it.
Well,
what movie
true.
is that? Yeah, right. You knew what this was when you got into it?
Yeah.
That. Put the glasses on and everything. The little... Remember, Diesel be doing that. Robbie, he put the little glasses. This nigga be sitting there like this. But real life, yeah. Like, that's what it is. Like, yo, I can't... But you're saying, would I trust her to hold me down while I'm gone?
Yeah, like once you see that, like
that she tripping on me,
that disgruntled setting there. You know, chicks get disgruntled, and like.
I mean,
in the climate and culture that we in nowadays, like
it would just depend on the person. But if you mean generally, probably not.
Okay.
It would depend on the person, hopefully. But I don't really be trying to just mess with just anybody though, for real. Like I'm real. my biggest problem, I'm real picky anyway, so for me to even get that close, she probably would be cool.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Or just not, knowing my luck. She'd probably be a Bama. Cold Bama.
Chill. All right, so the last question I got for you is, you've been doing this for about 10 years now. If you could talk to, like, your younger self, like, right before you first started any of this, what would you tell your younger self?
Charge more. I don't know. Let me think. That's a very, 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 very good question. I guess I would probably more so say, because damn, that's a very good question. I'll probably just say, do more of what's important to you video wise than just doing what makes sense. Because you know how this stuff is. A lot of stuff, I might look at like, oh, I could shoot with him. I could shoot with him anytime and somebody die.
Right.
I had a whole project I was trying to do with my uncle. My uncle lived like the most interesting DC nigga life you've ever heard of.
Okay.
And I kept putting it off. I'm going to get a better camera. He died. That's one of my biggest regrets in my life so far.
Okay.
Because we really was talking about it, and it was like he was getting all into it, and he died. So it was like, and there's nothing stopped me from doing that except for myself, because I wanted it to look the way I wanted it to look.
Right.
As opposed to I probably should just did a test run, and I could have always had that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I could have just, all right, let's just do one. And it still would have looked good. I mean, my camera was still straight. I just wanted 4K. The camera I had at the time wasn't 4K.
Right.
So I just wanted it to be I wanted it to be that thing. But yeah, so I've had a lot of situations like that where I was trying to shoot something with Flock, then he had got locked up. Right. Something we working on now. But I could have done that 3 years prior, or at least had a good start on it. A lot of stuff like that. It's like I kind of not get burnt out, but it get to a point where I just like, I don't even want to.
Right.
And this'll be here, you know what I'm saying? I could just tap back in a couple weeks, a couple days, and then something unforeseen happens, and it just never happens.
Right.
So that's probably would just tell myself that if something makes sense to you to try to work on, just do it, get it out the way. Don't put nothing off, because you don't never know what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
That's probably what I was.
That's life. Life is short. So I know I said that was the last question, but
you can ask me 15 more questions.
What would you tell like the little kids, like how you said you was, that can't afford cameras and shit like that? Because you know it's a lot of them out here right now.
For sure. How long ago? What was like 3 years ago? So like 4 years ago, at Baloo, I guess they still have it like a production class, and I actually for 3 or 4 different times I went there. I talked to them.
Oh, okay, cool.
And I was hollering at them. I was telling them stuff. We took the web series we had at the time. The teacher let me play that, which it was a little, people getting smoked in the joint, people cussing, wilding, So I'm like, you sure? And he was like, oh, these kids, they seen worse. I'm like, yeah, well, okay. So we played
not the excuse I would have wanted to hear, but
it was real. That was Baloo, man.
Yeah.
Baloo was wild when I didn't go to Baloo, but when I was in high school, Baloo was the wild school. So I was like, all right, cool. I guess you're right. So I played him some episodes, and he would pause it. And he would be like, right there, is that the actor coming up with that? Is that you? And I'd be like, oh, that's actually a little both. He freelanced that, or he woo. And they'd be like, okay, see, kids, you got to. So stuff like that. But I would tell the kids, and I told them, I said, just if you want to do it, they had access. These kids now got access we ain't had.
Yeah, that's
that
facts.
We ain't had.
That's facts.
Yeah,
that's facts.
These kids had the predict, and it was the wildest shit. It was like a regular classroom, right? And it was a door. Then it was a fucking, you ever, in a news joint. Mm-hmm. It was like a whole huge room with a massive green screen with like a news desk and all type of camcorders, the big dog Jones. Mm-hmm. And they could use them. And I'm telling them, I said, y'all don't have no excuse not to. I said, y'all need to put me out. Because y'all got, you know what I'm saying? Y'all have access to stuff. I don't got access to that quality now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's going to be a minute till I get one of them. I'm like $15,000, $20,000, $30,000 cameras, Reds and stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yo, just seize the opportunity. There's always ways. People are shooting stuff on iPhones. Though I feel indifferent about that, people are still doing it, though.
Yeah.
I've seen little...
I've seen it as well.
Yeah, iPhone 11 joints. iPhone 11 vicious. So I didn't see some stuff that... Oh yeah, and this was done on the iPhone. Like,
Yeah,
right.
like I, you know, I do photography. I see people do photography with iPhones and buy like the little lens adapters, and you know, be having like lenses on it. Yeah, just
they're having it up nowadays. It's crazy.
yeah.
This wasn't a possibility. I couldn't do that with the iPhone 3.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
One about the, that one.
But I'm not big on that kind of stuff now. Like, you know, it looks good to a degree, but I feel like nothing is like.
I don't like it. Just straight up, I don't like it. If we're doing scenery pictures. And you just break the phone out, okay. Because you still got to know how to, you can still touch it up in the phone.
Yeah,
you still
color,
got to have the eye.
sharpness, yeah.
And that's cool. You got to have a real vicious eye to shoot on the iPhone. And then you put a Canon, a Nikon, a Lumix, or whatever it is in your hand. What's a ISO? What's a white balance? Why this look this? What's a... You don't know what you're doing, man. But if that's what your humble begin... Like I said, my first start... was on that point and shoot wild little joint.
Yeah, that's interesting.
I had 2 of them.
Right.
I had one and I got one that was a little better. So it was like this. I still, keep on with me, you know what I'm saying? A little joint.
You keep it on them, y'all.
Yeah, keep one on me. I ain't got to carry the big camera. I keep a little, you never know, something might happen. I can get that in 4K real quick. But nah, facts, I would definitely, if a kid would ask me, well, I'm a big believer. Nothing can hold you back if you really want to do it.
Okay.
Nothing. You could be poor. You could be poor as shit. You know somebody with a phone. Use your man iPhone to shoot something. If that's your man.
Facts.
Or like I said with them kids at Baloo, go ask them. Cause you shoot something on your lunch break and keep it at the school. Work on that for a couple weeks on your lunches, or get to school early or stay to school late and ask them if that's a possibility at your school. I don't know about Maryland. I know DC schools all got programs like that now.
Yeah, we ain't have a lot of programs at all.
I'm from Maryland,
right?
But when I was in schools in the city, I went to Tech. Tech was the first one.
Okay.
We were the guinea pigs, and it worked. Like everybody I went to school with, Malik. I went to school with him. He's like the biggest brand. My man Najee got his own juice company. He getting big bucks.
No, that's dope.
And it's all off of this. I could go, the list goes on. I went to school with a lot of people. They put that in us mentally. You could do anything.
As long as you
so I think I'm seeing that, like when I do stuff every now and then at schools now, I'm seeing that, like some of these kids are crash test dummies. But it's, like I think my man Najee, he did a demonstration. I guess it's a KIP. It's the one on MLK or whatever type of public charter school that was. Okay. Because I don't know. It wasn't there when I was in school, yeah. Yeah. It's on MLK though, in Southeast. And he did a live demonstration. He make juices. He showed them how he do it. He let them do it with him. And it was tight. But you could tell it was the students that didn't care whatsoever.
Right.
And then it was the ones really into it. And they was asking stupid questions at the end. They call it what it is. And I could see he was handling himself very professionally, but he was getting a little flustered. And in one of the questions, he was like, I left my government job. I ain't gonna say how much he got a contract with a distributor. They put him in stores around here. I ain't gonna say put all his business out there, but he said I had a government job making this, that, and the third, and now this company sent me this, that, and the third thousand every month just to sell my stuff. And the kids just looking at him stupid. I'm like, they don't know that's a lot of money when you're not going to work every day, and he still can hand them, and he can still do whatever he wants.
Right.
Them kids don't get it. Like, it was a rack of them that just looked like it was just okay. Then you could look into the other little corner. They sitting there like, that's all right. Yeah. Them the ones you want to get every opportunity you got, whatever you do. Them the ones you want to get because they going to remember you. Even if they don't never see you again.
So you want to plug your social medias and then shout people out? You got anybody want to shout out? Where can the people find you at online?
So I'm launching my own production company.
Mm-hmm.
So you can follow us on Instagram, poncho.multi, PONCHO, period,
Okay.
MULITI.
Y'all hiring for photographers, man?
I'm really about to I'm trying to put money in a rack of niggas' pockets, bro.
Yeah,
I'm fucking with you.
big. Resume job deep over here, man.
Yeah, I know
Get
about
jobs.
you.
Yeah,
I see you in person the first time working, so I know about you. Yeah, that's pretty much it. My regular Instagram, shop at MLB. Yeah, that's basically it. That's all we doing. We about to drop a web series. Next upcoming weeks.
Okay. What about your YouTube? Did you put? You got YouTube?
Yeah, but I'm still trying to figure out which one I'm gonna put this one on.
Okay.
I'm about to with my production company. I'm gonna have a whole new channel for all those type of things, and then my current one, which is Shop by MLB,
Okay.
will be probably contracted things I'm doing and or like behind the scenes for the big channel.
Gotcha.
The big channel. My new wave of stuff is documentary work. So I'm about to come out with like, I'm sitting on like 8 documentaries right now. Some like 35% done, some 85%, and one I just finished the other day. So I have to edit it. So that's about to be my new wave. I see nobody's really doing that around here. So I'm gonna capitalize on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nah,
Because you asked me more about that.
What about what?
The production jump. There's a whole little story on that. If you want to, it's up to you.
Nah, you good. You know, we got time. Plenty of time. Yeah. So, as far as like the production go, what you want to get into? You want to talk about like how you do it, or?
Cause I named my father died, so I named it after my father.
Okay.
So I just wanted to,
The poncho.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's my father's nickname.
Oh, okay.
DC
okay.
nigga, you know.
DC nigga too.
City nigga, you know how they are.
So,
you don't know a nigga name.
How long? When did you make that? When did you make it? Like when did you start that? The poncho. Multi?
I first. Oh, you asking me like to actually get a real answer? You just asking me. So,
no, this is real. Like we still recording.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you still recording.
Can you ask me again? My fault.
Yeah.
I fumbled. So I knew I wanted to do it a couple years ago. My father died 3 years ago. So while he was still alive, I didn't have the foresight to name it after him, but I was kind of inspired by him, kinda. So like basically, my father had a heart transplant.
Okay.
So after he did that, that was probably like 2012-ish. It's like a little after I got out of high school. So he was cool, but like in his last couple years of his life, he kind of slipped into a depression, and he just be at his house watching TV all day. So I, slide through the joint. We just sit there all day. My father always was a big movie. Even when I was a kid growing up, he would always be watching Turner classic movies. I don't know if you know about, what I'm saying, old school black and white jokes. And just anything. He would always watch movies, and he was very analytical. He's not just looking at them, shooting the shit. After something would go off, he would just break down I don't like how they did that, this, that, and the third. Right. Why the black actors always got to do this. The white dude come through and just bust down and just killed everybody. That's not how it would go. Right. Or they shouldn't. He was real, and I think I owed probably that to him. I pay attention to a lot of stuff, or I'm very critical on my own shooting, and that's probably because of hearing that as a little kid. So yeah, in his last years, he just that's what he was. He was just watching stuff. We go in there, watch the stuff, and part of the drink, the heart they put in him was from a 20-something-year-old white dude.
Okay. And
I don't know what they got to do with anything, but my father wasn't an emotional dude. We was sitting there like if a sad scene in the movie come on, he would start crying.
Okay.
And I'm like, yo, what is this nigga doing? I was like, you all right over there? He said, man, it's this fucking hot, man. I don't know who this nigga was. But this nigga was a bitch because every time some sad shit happened, I start crying like a bitch. And I don't know he was mad, but you know what I'm saying? It was funny. So my uncle, bitch ass, he had told my father, which was cool, because me and my brother, I'm not trying to get too much into that. Me and my brother had met later in life.
Okay.
So, my father was very happy at how close me and my younger brother became in that short window of time. And I remember it was right after one of the times we had came back from Atlanta, and I went up there to see my father, and he was like, yeah, so, my father was like the coolest nigga talking. So he was like, so, he was in Georgia. I'm like, yo, who was telling this nigga this? We had literally just got back like 2 days, so I'm like, yeah, like, what's up? He's like, your brother was with you? I was like, yeah, my brother too, my man Ace, and and I think I don't remember which time this was. We went more than once. So, yeah, he was talking about that, and he was like, so what was you doing down there? I was like, we was shooting. And he had known I had did it before that, but this was the first real conversation we had at the depth I'm doing it. I said, nah, this is what I do. Like, and he was just like, let me see something.
Right.
And I was like, I'll burn you off when we're done. But the second season of my show never was finished. We finished up to the episode before last.
Okay.
So he died, so he never saw it, which I had a big problem with. Especially the reason why we had to stop shooting was that added to my frustration.
Right.
But it is, you have to chalk it all up to the game. So when he died, and like I said, this is all one long story, but it come together. So when he died, and that's kind of like his thing was just in the joint. You watch everything. He watched all type of movies. He's done the third. It was just fitting to name my production company after my father, because I think it just makes sense.
Yeah, that's very dope. So let me ask you this, because we hopped on a couple of times how short life is and how you need to take advantage of the opportunities. So I asked you earlier if you could talk to your younger self. What would you tell your younger self? So now I'm gonna go in the opposite direction. At the end of the day, at the end of a life, what's satisfying for you? Like, what do you want your legacy to be? Like,
I want to be the person from the Greater Washington, because I don't like the term DMV.
You don't like DMV?
Nah, it's whack.
Yeah.
No, I'm a DMV nigga because I really be doing shit in the whole area.
Yeah.
I don't like the way it sounds.
Yeah.
I want to be, when we looking back and we all like in our 50s and 60s and we old heads or even older, I want to be the person that really brought diversity to the video stuff, because everybody's shooting music videos, everybody want to do the same shit, and it's been like this for the last couple of years. I want to be the person which is why I've been waiting so long to drop these documentaries. I'm literally, and I'm not exaggerating, I can name 8 of them that's on my computer, queued up, like chopping that. I'm not putting them out till I'm ready to start dropping them, because it's going to be that's gonna be I want to look back like next year and be like, I started this wave.
Right.
And then in 20, 30 years, I want to be like, that was me.
Right.
And I want to put on people. I want to leave something for my kids. I want to leave something for my nieces and nephews. Day one, you know what I'm saying? I want to leave a family thing and just the area thing. You know what I'm saying? Expansion. I want to be that person. Because we never had that. I'm pretty sure some famous directors and videographers. I'm pretty sure it is. But we've never had a Spike Lee. We've never had somebody that looked like us that made projects. Like Tyler Perry, cool, but I've always thought his projects was a little negative towards us, to the black man.
It just plays off the stereotypes.
Yeah, like if you show me like 15 Tyler Perry movies back to back and didn't tell me who Tyler Perry was, I would assume it was made by a mad black woman.
Right.
Because he kind of...
Which is, that's who he plays most of the time, so
you know what I'm saying?
It makes sense. You know, it all ties in together.
Yeah, it ties in.
Yeah.
So I just want to leave. I just want that to be an option too, because there's a lot of creative people around here that get frustrated in what they do, and I just want to bridge artists, musical artists, actors,
everybody,
models, entrepreneurs. It's a seat at the table for all of us.